Hey, Driven Autism Dads, it's Kyle Jetzel. Man, I need a haircut bad. Uh, so today I want to talk about something that's really come to the forefront of my mind over the past few days. So twice in one day. So Sunday, I taught a Sunday school class of about 20 to 25, 15-year-olds, 14, 15-year-old kids. And we talked about managing your mind during difficult moments, right? It's such a powerful thing to be able to be conscious of your thoughts and know that when things get escalated that you can put yourself in the right state. For instance, when our kids start to melt down, we've got to be at our best when they're at their worst, but that's really hard to do. And so it was a different context in the primary class, or in the class I was teaching on Sunday to these young men and young women. But as I was talking about these strategies and how it mirrors some of the things that Christ did in his life, and how that's a big part of it, right? Trying to be more like Christ. One of the adults in the room said, "You know what, Kyle? We know what we should do, but how do we do it when it gets really hard?" and I loved it. I loved it. So at that moment, I was able to teach them one of our strategies in the Thrive in Chaos program, and it's about conditioning. Later on that day, I did a Zoom call at 5 o'clock Mountain Time on Sunday, and the same thing happened. One of the guys I was talking to, Michael, I believe his name was, he kind of knows what he should do. I mean, he knows what he should do, but when things get really hard, he's just not able to do it. And so I want to talk a little bit about that today. And if you become an insider or join my group, we talk about the very, very specific strategy and the steps to it. But I want to tell you, it's all about conditioning. It's all about conditioning yourself, okay? And I'll give you an example. When I was quite a younger man, just out of high school, I was angry. I was really angry. I grew up in a poor, depressed neighborhood with no money, and it didn't sit well with me. I saw the people around me living these different lives, and I was a good kid. I thought, I tried to do good things and be kind, but was just at a disadvantage because of where I grew up and the situation that I grew up in. And so I was angry about it. And I was walking down the street one day on Jefferson Boulevard in Oak Cliff, and that's a neighborhood inside Dallas. Those of you from Dallas will know Oak Cliff, and you'll know what I'm talking about. This is in the mid-'80s. And I looked in, and there was an old laundromat that had been cleaned out, and there was a bunch of guys boxing in there. And I thought, you know what? Those guys look like they could really hurt me, but this seems like a way that I could hit dudes and not get arrested for it. Now, as stupid as that sounds, that was my attitude at the time. That, you know what? I was angry. I felt like I had been given a short stick in life. I was just not happy about it. And so I was looking for, I didn't want to go to jail. I knew I wouldn't last there long at all because I knew some people there. But so I joined, and I learned a lot from boxing. First of all, I learned that I was not designed to be a boxer. I'm not that good of an athlete. My hands aren't that fast. I was very technical and tactical in how I boxed, but I lacked some of the athletic and probably physical skills to compete at a high level. But it taught me so much stuff. And one of the most important things it taught me that I remember most was some conditioning they did with the boxers. And what I mean by conditioning is not physical conditioning, but mental conditioning. And I'll tell you what I mean. So when you're boxing and you punch somebody and they get a little bit hurt, and you see that, if you shake somebody, the tendency is just to go after them and beat the crap out of them and just wail on them, okay? And what can happen when you do that is you just start throwing punches, and you're just constantly pop, 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 pop. Well, too many punches in a row, no matter how good a shape you are, you'll get what they call, you get punch drunk, right? You get tired. Your arms start to turn into noodles, and you can barely throw your arms anymore. Now, as a boxer, I realized I wasn't really going to be attacking anybody and knocking anybody out, But I knew, because of where I grew up and the fact that I was a white kid, everybody wanted to knock me out. And so one of my tactics was to take a few punches and pretend I was a little wobbly, and then they would just start trying to knock me out, and I would cover up and dodge and duck and cover up and dodge and duck and wait until they got punched out. Okay, they'd get punched out, and when they were, their hands would drop and I could ta-ta and outpoint people. I never really knocked anybody out, but I was my only chance really was to outpoint somebody because of my thoughts and being tactical in my approach, and I was skinny with long arms, so a lot of times I could use that to my advantage. Well, one of the first things they teach you in boxing, at least in the gym I was in, was they teach you that when you're throwing a lot of punches and your arms get tired, when you get punched out, is to automatically lift your hands, right? When you feel your arms too tired to lift, you lift them right here. You cover up, okay? And the reason is because that happens, right? You'll start punch. Your arms will get tired, they'll feel like noodles, and whack, you get clocked. That's the way it goes. So they would always tell you, hands up, right? If you feel your arms being tired, hands go up. Arms get tired, hands go up. And it conditions you, they say it so much, that it conditions you throughout my life. And I would get tired, I'd lift my hands. And tired in anything, right? I'd go play basketball and I'd be running up and down the court, and somebody would steal the ball and I'd be having to run back for defense, and I'd be exhausted, not wanting to run, and my hands would go up, and I'd be like, oh crap, I got more energy, and I would run down, right? And it conditioned me so deeply that when I got tired to lift my hands, that it's just a natural thing for me now, right? Now, I don't know if it's natural anymore because it's been a long time since I've played any basketball or any sports where I get exhausted. But for years, my hands would go up because I would get super tired. And it was conditioned so deeply into me that it was just an automatic response, right? Now, here's what's cool about this automatic response and conditioning yourself. You can, through the right tools, and one of those tools is in our program, condition yourself that when things start to go wrong, you know, let's say the day's been okay, but you're kind of tired, it's toward the end of the day, and your daughter won't go to bed, and she starts screaming and yelling, and it's frustrating, right? Well, we can condition you to put yourself in the right state automatically, to go into the most productive state you can, so that you can support and serve your kids in the most productive state, right? And that means you can, no matter what happens, no matter what kind of event happens, no matter how tired you are, no matter how early it is in the morning, even if they wake you up in the middle of the night with a screaming, blood-curdling scream meltdown because they can't find a Lego, I've lived it, right? You automatically go into the most productive state. And this is really where some of the power is, right? We know what we should do when things go wrong. A lot of us know what we should do. The problem is we can't do it. And through this conditioning, you learn how to do it. You learn how to put yourself in that state where you're most productive, where you can be the most loving and most kind and most patient. No matter what, whether you're exhausted or whether you've had a long day or a short day, or it's 4 a.m. in the morning and your kids wake up screaming, right? It doesn't really matter. You can automatically, through conditioning, put yourself in the most productive state to be the best dad that you can be. And that's how you do it, right? The question is, now, here's what's really cool about this, is once you learn how to condition yourself to do that, then almost every strategy works, right? Here's what I've learned a long time ago. You may have the perfect strategy to manage a meltdown, but if you're in the wrong state, that crap ain't working. It ain't gonna work. I don't care. And what it does is it makes you think that it's the strategy. It's not the strategy, right? If you're in a great state, if you put yourself in a state of power and strength and courage and, you know, and love and kindness and caring and patience, almost all strategies work. Whether that's getting them to eat or use the restroom or go to potty, it's all in your state, right? Your state matters and who you are in those encounters. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge you, dads. If you've ever told yourself, well, you know, I know what I should do, but I just can't do it when things get hard, give me a scream. I want to share this with you. If you think, let me know, because I'll teach you this strategy, and we'll help you get conditioned so that you put yourself in that state automatically, And then every strategy you have as a dad will work. And it's a really powerful thing. You can tell by the smile on my face how much it's changed my family. You can tell it made my relationship with my wife better. It made my relationship with my typical kids better. Because guess what? No matter what happens, if I come home from work and my wife was out of sorts, in a lot of cases I would, get frustrated and not be. But this conditioned me to go into a state of kind, loving, patient state. And the way I managed my wife and the way I managed me during those occurrences changed my relationship. Super powerful. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, it might be the most powerful thing you can do is learn how to put yourself in the most productive state possible in an instant. Okay? It'll change your life. It changed my life. It's changed my family's life. And if you want to know what it is, let me know. I want to teach it to you, and I want you to learn it. And it becomes such a conditioned thing, right? Your arms get noodly, hands go up. You get tired, hands go up. Hey, everything starts to melt down around you, right? You go into a proper state. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, that's my message for today. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to know this strategy, let me know. I want to share it with you, but I don't share this on videos. This is a one-on-one thing. So talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.